Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Th000 versus Fly. This game taking place here on Echo Isle. On the top left-hand side of the map, we have Th000 spawning as the random red night elf over here on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, hop, skip, and a jump away, we have Fly spawning as the blue orc. Couple of things to note. Well, I should probably try to switch players just in case we do see a little bit of Blade Master action. Very difficult to keep track of all of that. I've been reading the comments lately, and some people are like, oh wow, that game was boring or not that great of a game. And unfortunately, well, I don't screen all of my games, so it's I guess my job as a play-by-play commentator, announcer, caster to make the games entertaining for you guys and hopefully see a little bit more depth. When there is a lot of crazy action, I'm just trying to keep up with everything, and at the same time, if the game is a little bit slower, hopefully I can point out things that you guys don't naturally notice. That is what I'm working on. Yes, I have been casting for years and years and years, and well, I hope you guys do enjoy some WarCraft 3, as it is going to be opening up with the barracks. I believe a Voodoo Lounge is going to be coming into play, and now the orc player Fly is going to be, well, we'll see if he goes for a second orc burrow first or if he tries to go for a tech to tier 2. Now, a wisp has made its way over, and I am surprised by this. The fact that Th000 would actually reveal his race to his opponent is actually a little bit of a shock, because, well, when you reveal your race to your opponent, all of a sudden strategies do change. You want to force your opponent to try and do a little bit of scouting on you and then change up your plan. Let's take a look at this Ogre Warrior about to get taken down here. Meanwhile, Wisp is just going to go ahead and collect a bunch of lumber there, as the Blade Master are going to purposely go after the Ogre Warrior, pull it back. We should be looking at an ensnare. Oh, no ensnare onto that grunt. Perfect spacing and distance, as the Blade Master now going closer and closer towards that Ogre Warrior. Going to try and pick up that item and now go after the Forest Troll Trappers here. The Blade Master is taking a fair bit of damage, but as you can see, only the Blade Master is taking damage. And when you do in fact have very powerful abilities, oh, Keeper of the Grove now making its way across here, when you have some nice healing there, as we are going to see an Orc Burrow now getting taken down. This is actually heavy harassment, as the Keeper of the Grove is going to be forced to retreat. However, let's take a look at this back across over here. The Keeper of the Grove may try and get another round of trees into that location. The range on the cast is a little bit different, now being brought back over again, and now here you go, gonna be forced to cancel once more. Keeper of the Grove down to 240 hit points. A lot of distress here, as the Keeper of the Grove now gets to level 2. Archers and Ents down across here are able to finish off some of those units. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove is now going to be walking all the way back. You see a Tree of Life now being placed down by Th000, as the Archer is going to be doing a bit of retreating. You can take a look. Force of Nature trying to shut down an Orc Burrow for a third time. A lot of things happened in that fight. The Peons were forced to go into the Orc Burrow, which made them lose a lot of lumber time. We may end up seeing Fly significantly behind in terms of wood, and being able to perhaps get that Spirit Lodge, get that Shadow Hunter, and the rest of those remaining units out. Meanwhile, Archer may try to go after this grunt here. There is a big slow getting cast. I don't know where that slow came from. Perhaps a Mud Golem from the Keeper of the Grove. There is the Manual of Health that's getting picked up. Blade Master may switch on by over what's happening down over here, as the grunt is, well, trying to get away. There's an entangle. Grunt will get finished off. Meanwhile, the Blade Master purposely picks up a Forest Troll Shadow Priest and will be able to get a Tree of Life. Alright, Keeper of the Grove is in a little bit of a problem right now. Blade Master going after that Tree of Life. Meanwhile, the Forest Troll Shadow Priest is about to get taken down. There's the Abolish Magic to save the unit just in time. Meanwhile, the Forest Troll Berserker is trying to get away. Blade Master doing a little bit of an engagement as well. We're looking at the Renegade Wizards and this Kobold Geomancer joining in on the fight. Forest Troll Berserker with that piercing damage could get enough damage across here. Blade Master is in a bit of trouble. Is going to be able to cancel this. There's the cancellation. Blade Master quickly wind walks away. Very low, gets a Windwalk strike, is gonna be able to use, yes, double healing salve. And now the Blade Master, what is it doing? It actually just took a point of damage from the Archer to lose its healing, as the Blade Master is gonna be low on hit points heading back down to the south here. Blade Master, oh, picks up the item. Gonna go ahead, down to 65 hit point, gets entangled, but he did steal a good bit of experience. Now gonna go ahead and Scroll of Town portal away. He teleports back. I thought perhaps a little bit of extra mana would have given him a chance to perhaps walk away, but that just was not the case. All right, no brutes, no poachers. What's going on both sides? Really strange game opening up. Trying to do a little bit of a recap here. Keeper of the Grove will be able to set up an expansion back down to the south. You saw that the mercenary camps were used very heavily, but at the same time, well, it's going to be difficult to try and clear them out here. All right, Force of Nature is the Keeper of the Grove. If you didn't notice, Echo Isle has this additional island of trees. And people were saying, even when Night Elf gets nerfed, the addition of trees right there gives the ability to, well, be able to summon forces of nature and clear out this particular creep camp, which is a definite bonus. All right, Archer now trying to get away here. Let's take a look. The Cobalt Thunder, they're going to make its way over. Keeper of the Grove gets to level 3. Meanwhile, Shadow Hunter down across over here. Blade Master trying to put pressure onto the Tree of Life as the Keeper of the Grove may get an entangle. Yes, there's that entangle right there. That Blade Master taking a bit of damage, trying to stop this Tree of Life. Tree of Life already down to 200 some odd hit points, and it is dropping quickly. Another entangle, and this is going to be really crucial here. Blade Master, Dust of Appearance. Is the Keeper of the Grove going to be able to get off on another entangle? Yes, it will. Blade Master down to 125 hit points. Going to be able to perhaps finish it off. Is going to try and walk away. There's a Scroll of Speed down to 9 hit points. Scroll of Speed, Healing Salve, walk, and that Blade Master is booking it. All right, Blade Master down to 112 hit points and rising. Blade Master makes its way back over. You got to be careful here. Oh, the Sentinel reveals it. Blade Master down to 125 hit points now, being forced to use an extra healing salve. And I do not believe that was on purpose. Focus just making a very big mistake right there, as you see Th000 throwing down Sentinels all across the map. Shadow Hunter is at level 2, picks up a healing salve there. We are getting into Shamans as well, as the Blade Master is going to have a little bit of trouble. All right, Shadow Hunter finally on the board with some abilities. Could try and healing salve a little bit, sells an item. We should be looking at some more healing salves as well. Meanwhile, back down to the south, Th000 looking to clear out this Ogre Magi creep camp. This Tree of Life is about to be completed. It is fully, or pretty much fully, repaired. I thought there was natural regeneration on a Tree of Life. Nope, there is no natural regeneration on a Tree of Life, even when it is rooted. Serpent Wards now being thrown down. Shadow Hunter with Serpent Wards. That is an additional big amount of damage that these Serpent Wards do in fact deal later on. Level 2 and especially level 3 Serpent Wards, if you ignore them, well, they deal a significant amount of damage. If you go after them, the remaining units are able to dish out their damage, and it's almost like adding extra hit points to your own army, because your opponent is forced to deal with summons that really don't do very much. Back at the other side, Keeper of the Grove gonna try and clear things up here. Keeper of the Grove now gonna head off to the north. There are some sentry wards. There are huntresses all being placed, or huntresses all across the map now, with plenty of sentinels to boot. Meanwhile, back down across here, Nightcrawler is going to get finished off. Circuit of Nobility once again dropped. Is it going to be given to the Blade Master? That's a good question as well, as the Shaman, with that magic damage, attempt to finish off more and more units. Not going to be that effective against the unarmored and the medium armor army of the Night Elf, as we're looking at 50 supply compared to 45. Ancient Protector, in addition to an Ancient of War now being added. Blade Master going after the Forest Troll Trapper is going to finish off those units here. Forest Troll Berserkers, a lot of piercing damage, and then Shamans with Purge in order to, well, get in a little bit of slow as well. Huntresses make their way back around. The two armies just split by each other here, as another Huntress is going to spot this poor Shaman who is just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Keeper of the Grove could try and get a little bit of damage, and Peons now making their way back down. Peons actually getting in harm's way and it's going to allow some of those units to be saved as the grunts now try to head back in. Alright, we are getting into armor upgrades. Is that peon going to be able to make it inside? Lightning shield onto a grunt, and that grunt is dealing a good amount of damage. More shamans are trying to rush in all the way to the back. That peon really should just be jumping on inside. There's a Scroll of Town portal in order to get away. Did lightning shield get cast onto some of these units? Yeah. And at that point, when you see your opponent is going to go ahead and Scroll of Town portal, casting lightning shield on your opponent's units, well, causes them to, well, deal a lot of damage to themselves until they can all become separated. Mana is free, so to speak. It just takes time, but then again, time is money. So I guess it's technically not free. Anyways, in terms of WarCraft 3, it is a resource that is continually given, unlike gold mines, which can in fact run out. Trading mana for units is always a good idea. That's one of the reasons why, well, caster heroes are so strong. A 92-point critical strike coming across. Blade Master now making its way over. Purge causing some big problems once again. There's Force of Nature in the backside here. A bunch of abolished magics I thought I saw. No, perhaps no. Wisp now coming in with that detonation. Lightning shield again. Shamans looking to back away. Perhaps try to live and fight another day, but the arrows are going to end up finding them here. Healing wave bouncing around. Blade Master needs another lightning shield in order to be able to really dish out that damage. The Serpent Ward, however, is currently was going unchecked. As you can see, the damage is starting to add back up. Forest Row Berserkers not going after the Huntresses to the south, and the army is just split up far too much, as Th000 looks like he'll be able to take a little bit of a lead here, as there are a bunch of low hit point grunts. All right, there goes another grunt. If more grunts are lost with no Huntresses being lost, that is going to be a definite win for Th000. Blade Master in a little bit of trouble. Does have a potion of invulnerability. We could perhaps be looking at a lightning shield on the Blade Master. No lightning shield. Big surprise right there, as the grunts are going to end up getting taken down. Forest Row Berserker could try and take down a lot of units. Yeah, lightning shield would have finished off multiple units right here, but it still looks like he's come out come out ahead. Scroll of Speed now being used. Blade Master was just outside the range. Is it going to be able to get away? Down to 35. You take a look, Shaman trying to get away. Yes, it will be able to get away. That Blade Master survives at sub 50 hit points, as we are now finally getting into a great haul. Now, economic advantage by Th000, but not by much. Only 40 extra gold a second. Well, I guess that's actually a pretty good, no, 40%. So 40% of 600, 24 gold, 240 gold? 240 gold a minute is the difference there, or 4 gold a second. Wow, yeah. Why was my math so far apart? My apologies. As we're taking a look, well, squirrels having a bad day. PETA not getting involved, since they are just all digital creatures. All right. Grunts making their way down. Shamans making their way over as well. Where are all of these units going next? We can take a look. Huntresses making their way out. Ogre Mauler, the additional gold for Th000 is going to be able to give him some larger, beefier units. Serpent Wards are being placed down as well, but unbeknownst to Fly, he's going to be forced to try and defend his base. Th000, with these sentinels all across the map, he has such good scouting and will easily figure out where his opponent is. Oh, poor timing, trying to clear out a red creep camp right as your base is getting attacked and put into place. Level 4 on that Keeper of the Grove, not yet at level 5. A very big deal, as the watchtowers could get taken down. Nope, no takedown on the watchtower. A new Great Hall now being thrown down here, as the reinforcements or the army is backing away. All right, Purge onto an Archer. Archer gonna get taken down. Oh no, survives there. Lightning shield next to the Archer. Archer is gonna, well, stand to death, as the Blade Master still wandering around once more. All right, let's continue this engagement here. Shaman with that lightning shield doing a lot of damage. I really think you should be able to attack the tree if there is a sentinel in it. Otherwise, how else do you really take care of it, or bring a peon over in parts of your battle? Meanwhile, Ancient Protector, Ancient of War, still training up more Huntresses. Blade Master now looking to back up 50 over 60 supply compared to 75. a definite economic or army advantage by Th000, but it needs to translate into a decisive victory in an upcoming battle. The problem right now is, will Fly be able to actually build up enough army or fight in a good enough position to trade effectively? If he is able to do exactly that, there are more targets, there is more experience to be gained as the Huntresses now make their way over. All right, let's take a look at this. Orc Burrow, 1 watchtower currently up. Blade Master turning back around, gonna try and fight here. Units are going to be pulling back. Let's take a look. There is a Sentinel right in position. That is a large number of Wisp, and I think Th000 is going to be, well, very happy with what he sees here. 27 to 30% damage. Blade Master just joins in on the fight. Here you go. This is actually looking like a very tough spot. The Blade Master is going to be forced to retreat. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability not being used. Why not? There could have been an easy Sentinel placed down earlier, or maybe there already is, as the Wisp getting quickly detonated upon. Blade Master going to be forced to retreat here. Clarity Potion in addition to some healing salves for that Blade Master, trying to buy time. If the Shadow Hunter can throw down enough Serpent Wards, this could turn into a very difficult spot to fight. Here you go. There's one Serpent Ward down out onto the field. The Shadow Hunter should have another Serpent Ward down. Scroll of Protection now being thrown down. Lightning Shield across multiple units. Blade Master, Wand of Illusion. They're going to get finished off here pretty easily. Another Lightning Shield onto the Blade Master as the Blade Master, well, gets detonated. Mass detonation being brought all over the place here as the Shamans really need to be joining in on this fight. You cannot have any units holding back when you are down in a battle here. Triple Serpent Ward, quad Serpent Wards, Lightning Shield on the Blade Master. Blade Master dealing so much damage just simply by standing around. Grunts now looking to back up here, and I believe that exchange, Fly came out ahead. Beautiful defense, beautiful hold. All of this with a level 4 Shadow Hunter and a level 4 Blade Master. Problem: the Shadow Hunter and the Blade Master need to restock up on items in order to follow up that fight again. You saw the Clarity Potions, you saw the Potion of Mana, how critical it was. And it really goes to show how important it is when the Shadow Hunter has mana. Those 4 Serpent Wards dealing 27 to 30 piercing damage towards these Huntresses who take bonus damage from piercing. That cannot be understated. 27 to 30 damage is essentially as much DPS, I believe, as a Rifleman. So that's 12, or that's what, 4 extra Riflemen out on the field dealing damage that is not accounted for in this population count. Now, Force of Nature going to make its way over. It looks as though the Keeper of the Grove finally gets to level 5, has a Clarity Potion here. Blade Master, all these units are going to be having to go back and forth. Also, this Great Hall is, I do not believe, fully saturated as of yet. Meanwhile, Orc Burrows are going to finish off this without much of an issue here. Are we going to perhaps see a Purge? Yes, Purge to try and get a little bit of experience again. If at some point the experience gives the Blade Master and Shadow Hunter level 5 from those Forces of Nature, that's going to be a major setback, as Fly, still down by 30 supply, currently has a very big advantage. A 6 gold a second advantage, 360 gold a minute, and that will, well, should turn into something eventually. It looks like Fly is going to finally break into low upkeep, evening up the economic advantage, but he knows at some point he does need to train up plenty of units. All right, triple Circlet of Mobility followed by a Gloves of, hey, Shadow Hunter is out onto the field, has all of the items you really should be looking for at this point and stage in the game. There are Ballistas and the income, well, some units here. All right, Ballistas throwing down at the Watchtower here. No big surprises. Peons are now being brought back over. Blade Master needs a Lightning Shield. Scroll of Protection being thrown down. As you take a look, the Grunts are looking to join in on the fight. Multiple Lightning Shields being thrown across every which way. Grunts are now trying to head back. Forest Roll Berserkers joining in on the fight as that Glaive Thrower was taken down in pretty much record time. Blade Master in serious trouble. Gets a healing wave, trying to finish off some more units. Is going to get another Scroll of Protection. Yes, in order to shake off that entangle. However, the Shadow Hunter needs to heal him back up, and in a hurry. There it goes. Stays alive a little while longer. Meanwhile, the Night Elf army is just so strong with proper positioning. All right, it looks like those were mirror images. Keeper of the Grove could be in trouble and really bursting down the Keeper of the Grove to cause some major problems. There's the lightning shield. What happened? Is it going to kill any units? They're trying to get away from each other. And what is happening in order to try and get away? Wow, that Forest Troll Berserker almost taken out. Almost got a couple of deaths in there, but it looks as though they'll be able to live and fight again. All right, 70 supply compared to 50. Shamans are at Adept. We are not going to Fortress. And it looks as though Fly is just playing this game extremely well, using items on the heroes to make up for the supply differences in the army. But because they are not in low upkeep, and because, well, items don't give experience, it looks as though the Blade Master and the Shadow Hunter should be able to inch out eventually and get ahead. However, the Keeper of the Grove is almost level 6, and we are now adding a second hero at the 20-minute mark of this game, the Goblin Alchemist. What is this follow-up play going to be? Shadow Hunter has the Clarity Potion already being used, has a Potion of Mana. You can see a lot of Shamans are down onto the field here. Blade Master is sitting at only +6 damage. Blade Master has to be very careful as the Huntresses are going to go ahead and dive on after this Blade Master here. No easy piercing damage. It looks as though the Shadow Hunter is going to be coming down across. Let's take a look at this. Are they going to jump on inside? Serpent Wards are being thrown down. Lightning Shield. Well, quick death right there as we're going to look at the Wisp trying to figure out where they can perhaps detonate. Mirror Image being used as the Blade Master going to go after some of these units here. All right, trying to go down after more units. All right, big Lightning Shield, big critical strikes, followed up critical strikes here. Healing Wave going back around, Scroll of Protection as well, as it looks as though the Blade Master is really pushing through a bunch of damage. All right, meanwhile, a number of Huntresses are getting taken down. 77 supply compared to 57, as both sides are trying to rebuild the armies back up. Wisps, multiple detonations. Keeper of the Grove finally gets to level 6, and we have Tranquility out onto the field with no easy stun. I don't believe we have Hex. No Hex at all. That Keeper of the Grove is just going to be far too much. Level 6 Keeper of the Grove may be the difference here as a Healing Wave saves a bunch of these units. All right, Serpent Wards are getting thrown down. Blade Master can finish off. There goes another an Ogre Mauler. Blade Master sitting at level 5. Shadow Hunter also sitting at level 5. Low on mana. Gonna wind walk its way through in order to try and live and fight another day. The Shadow Hunter needs to get some mana to heal back up right here, but this is going to be a tough spot to be in. All right, Lightning Shield being thrown down. Is it going to be able to finish off any of those units? It looks as though it is going to be a loss of the expansion. Meanwhile, what were these grunts doing over there? The grunts actually on the wrong side. Shadow Hunter could try and throw down a couple of Serpent Wards. Blade Master could turn around. We could be looking at a couple of ensnares as well. What is going down here? Blade Master wants to engage, and we are going to be looking at a fight. Tranquility once again being brought to the table. That cooldown just seems so long. Alchemist, it is in fact healing a bunch of damage, but there is a lot of critical strikes as well. Blade Master could get the kill. Yes, gets the kill. Blade Master still at 5. Blade Master trying to back away. Shadow Hunter does not have that much mana at all. Lightning Shield onto the Grunt. That Grunt is dealing massive damage to multiple units, but it will be forced to retreat again. All right, Archer gonna try to make its way through. One Raider is gonna be able to get some ensnares down. Scroll of Speed being used. Scroll of Healing being used, or Healing Wave being used as well. There goes another Archer again. As the Raiders are trying to get away, is the Scroll of Speed gonna be enough? 2 low hit point Grunts in the back. Well, because they did not have the Scroll of Speed, the Glaive Bounce actually bounced around until it finished off a Raider there. Meanwhile, back down to the south, Army once again trying to get re-cleaned and ready to go. Blade Master needs to get some more healing, needs to see more potions of mana. Why is there not a Clarity Potion on him either, or at least a healing salve? That's really what I'm looking at right now. Why isn't the Blade Master getting a healing salve? That is a big point. All right, Raiders trying to come in across the fight. Blade Master is over here as well. Blade Master Healing Wave goes down. Mirror Image going across multiple units. What is going down here? All of those mirror images just absorbing needless damage to try and buy time. But on top of that, there are Sentinels in the air spotting those illusions. All right, Clarity Potion coming to an end, and I think Fly has done a good effort, but the economic advantage is just far too much. And now that a new tree of life is being built over here, and that the Keeper of the Grove is using Tranquility so frequently, I believe that is going to be the end. Shadow Hunter and Blade Master both at 5, not able to deal with the sheer massive size of Th000's army, especially with how often it is getting easily healed. Not even a Staff of Preservation to try and mitigate those losses, but still the army advantage is nothing, well, nothing to sneeze at, and really has to be taken into account. All right, let's come back across over here. Shadow Hunter, Shadow Hunter Moonwell gonna get taken down very quickly. This could be a big problem. All of these Moonwells, if they are all cleared out, that is a big deal. Meanwhile, back down across over here, a new Tree of Life coming into play. Blade Master is in position. Serpent Wards are being thrown down. There is really no home field advantage right now as the Moonwells, the main home field advantage is not really in position. All right, Serpent Wards going to get some easy access to damage on Huntresses who, well, danced a little bit too close. Lightning Shield being thrown down onto a Grunt. Grunt able to, well, no, only able to stand around here. Archers coming in from the far side, and this army is completely surrounded. I believe that is going to be the game as the Tranquility once again being brought into play. Some of the Shaman are not even fighting army units, instead attacking buildings. That's not what you want to be seeing as the Blade Master goes down. Healing Wave coming across from the Alchemist. I believe a GG is just inevitable at this point. And yes, there you go. Fly has left the game. He was never able to build up a large enough army. That resource difference really prominent. And also you can take a look, army size maximum at one time 83 compared to 61. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.